Cory tank. Corridors. No tank setup. So I have 6 Corys in here. I have 1 store-buy. Very active personal one. Really recommend getting that one. Kind of hard to find though. Also rather expensive. Kind of. Depending on what you think expensive is. More expensive than the other ones. I have 2 Julies or Julie eyes. They're really cute. And I have 3 peppered or salt and peppered Corys in here. As well as a dozen or so ghost shrimp, 2 norite snails, and a spotted Raphael catfish. All of them coexist pretty nicely. No problems. So with Corys, you're going to want a sand substrate for sure. Indeed. That's kind of a given. It's a must, I would say. Definitely sand. It's definitely something you should probably get for them. Plus they just really like it. It's what they pretty much are born for. Sand substrates. You're going to want live plants. At the moment I have mainly Java fern. I have Anubias there in the back. As well as Marina bars. I have pothos up top through egg crate with its roots in the water. It's poisonous to turtles, which is why it's not on my turtle tank, it's on my Cory tank. There's also 1 Amano shrimp in here, it's a decent size. Can't forget about him. He's in here. As well as 2 guppy fry. So, a couple days ago, Corys were laying eggs, and the lone guppy that was in here was eating the eggs, so I took her out and transferred to the turtle tank. Came home and all the eggs were eaten anyway. Not sure who ate them, but next time I'm gonna get a breeder box and I'm gonna do it that way. Anyway, temperature I would say 75 to 85, being 78 or so being more of a good temperature to have. Mine sits at about high 79, 78 to 79 is where it fluctuates. Everybody seems happy. In fact, I had breeding, so yeah. You're gonna want a filter that will do the amount of water in the tank. At the moment, I believe there's probably a little less than 20 in here, and I have a Maryland 150, I think, and it does 30 gallons, and I have an Aqua Clear 20 back there. So I have more than enough filtration for this tank. Plus I have the pothos and everything else in here. So heater, you're going to want a heater designed for the tank itself. So I have, what is that? Is that a 150? I think that's a 150. Which is designed for a 55 gallon tank. If it's not a 150, yeah. It's a 150. It's designed for a 55 gallon tank. And I have the 300 in the total tank. So for Corys, they pretty much scavenge or eat all day through the substrate, which is why you want to say in substrate. That's what they do all day. I feed them Cory sinking pellets. These things, little wafers, they love these. And I drop sometimes these in there, mainly for shrimp and catfish. My wife picked these up. They do not seem to be that big of a favorite, but who knows. I also drop tropical flakes in there also. And on Sundays, once a week, we're going to be doing bloodworms. Interestingly enough, it was after the introduction of the bloodworms that they bred. Anyway, back to the tank. So I've got 2 hides. The rock cave over there being the oldest hive. It's mainly these hides are for the catfish, but everybody uses them. So right now the catfish has become accustomed to the house hide over there, which my wife and I picked out together. It's a really nice hide. Other than that, I mean, the same thing. You want to do your water changes, weekly water changes. I do all my tanks on Sundays. I take about 25% out of every tank and return the water. I don't treat any of my water either. It comes straight from the tap. And been doing it since I've been doing this. And no problems. I guess our water is good. You're also going to want a fluent airflow airstone, which you can see in the middle there. It's kind of a big one, kind of. Anyway, it's after research found that was the best one to get. Not bad. Yeah, you just want to make sure that they have sand substrate and are happy, and everybody gets along. As far as tank mates, nothing aggression, no aggressive at all in here. Corys do not understand boundaries at all. They'll pretty much, besides the catfish type barbs they have on them, they're pretty peaceful fish. I mean, I think they'll allow themselves to get bullied around and pushed about. So I would say do not keep them with anything aggressive at all. I have nothing but Corys in here, as well as crustaceans and the spotted catfish. That's it. And that's pretty much all I'm going to keep in this tank until the 55 becomes available. When Squirt Turtle gets his stock tank, I'm going to transfer them to the 55 and him to his stock tank, and the 55 will be our Cory catfish tank. And this, I'm not sure. This could be our breeding tank. Makes things easier. So technically we could just turn this into that, or we can get a crayfish, a little crayfish, and turn it into that. So that's it. They're very low maintenance fish. They're not very, demanding. They're easy for beginners, and definitely a fish to get if you want to start out, because they'll make your job easier. They'll do most of the cleaning for you of the tank, especially if you add like shrimp and snails and other cleaners. I mean, they'll clean the tank for you. So just keep up with your water changes and you should be okay. As far as Cory sizes go, I would say no bigger than 3 inches. The biggest one I have is not that big. He's right there. He's probably nearly, actually, I think it's the one that's laying eggs. Nearly about a couple inches maybe. So yeah. And that's about it with Corys. I mean, they're pretty simple and easy to keep. You just want to make sure you have sand substrate, some live plants, and good filtration, and feed them appropriately. I've had them for going on 3 weeks now. The Julies or Julie Eyes I've had for about 4 weeks. So I mean, in Raphael I've had for a couple weeks, which is the spotted catfish. So I mean, everything seems good. I've had no problems. So yeah, definitely worth the investment. Definitely a fish worth the investment. No doubt about that. I mean, I would definitely invest in this fish. They also require a tank of, not that big of a tank. I would say a 20 gallon, which is what you see here. Would be the most that you would need. So yeah, it's not a bad fish at all. Definitely worth it. And that is it for this video.